the holidays are supposed to be magical, right? Quality time with the family, cozy traditions, everyone gathered around feeling grateful and connected. And yet, every year around this time, my practice fills up with couples who are stressed out, fighting, and wondering why the most wonderful time of the year feels like a relationship obstacle course. And the truth is, surviving the holidays as a couple is a skill in itself that requires us using all of our top communication and relationship skills for healthy romantic relationships. So to help you out, as part of my Surviving the Holidays playlist, I've created a framework to help you organize and prioritize things, particularly your relationship. If we've not met before, my name is Oliver and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist here in Los Angeles, California. I love helping couples navigate how to have healthy, happy, intimate relationships. And if you want a whole bunch of couples therapy skills and tools that I teach my clients, download the free 7-day relationship rescue workbook. I'll put the link up there or down below. It's totally free and it's 52 pages of skills and tools. Now, because it's the festive time of year, I'm going to share what I call the Merry framework. These are 5 strategies to help you not just survive the holidays, but if you actually use them, they're going to actually strengthen your relationship and your connection. I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving. If you stick around to the end, I think you're going to walk away with some really practical tools and questions you can start using today. All right, let's get into it. M stands for map the season together. Here's the thing about the holidays. Most couples just wing it. They show up to Thanksgiving, survive Christmas, collapse into New Year's, and somewhere along the way, they wonder why they're fighting in the car on the way home from grandma's house. So my first tip is deceptively simple. Sit down with your partner before all of the chaos begins and actually map out the season together. Think of it like a strategy meeting, but instead of quarterly projections, you're talking about which in-laws you're going to see and when you're allowed to leave. I call this the holiday talk, and I want you to ask each other 3 questions. Number 1, what's on the calendar? This might just be as simple as pulling out your phones and getting practical. Which events are you actually attending? Who are you seeing and when? Who aren't we seeing? And most importantly, where does couples time live? Because if every single weekend from Thanksgiving to New Year's is booked with obligations, you're setting yourself up for a crash. So write it all down, stress budget together, and be honest about what's realistic for you all. Question 2, what stresses you out and how can I support you? This is a technique that I think I borrowed from the Gottmans. Take turns being the speaker and the listener and weigh in about what's stressing you out. Money, in-laws, the party that you're dreading. And don't jump to problem solving, right? Listen to learn, not listen to lecture. Your job is to understand, not fix. And then perhaps ask, what would actually help you in this season? What do you need from me? Question 3, what do you want this season to look like? Get curious about each other's histories. What were the holidays like growing up? What does your ideal holiday actually look like? And maybe more importantly, what do you dread? Because what I see in my practice here is couples silently hoping that their partner will just know what they need or know what they dread. And that never works. So make your expectations explicit. Ask each other what would make this season feel good enough for you. Not perfect, but good enough. And watch out for the fantasy family trap. The fantasy that we have where everyone's laughing around the fire, nobody's bringing up politics. That is a Hallmark movie. So lower the bar, aim for good enough, and you'll be amazed at how much pressure that releases. E is for enforcing boundaries as a team. So this next one is Family Systems Theory 101, and I swear I see this play out almost every single holiday season. The core idea is that your relationship is the home team, and the holidays, they're the annual stress test of whether you actually act like a team or not. What happens when you go back to your family of origin is fascinating and slightly terrifying. We regress a little bit. We walk into our parents' home as a fully functioning adult with a mortgage and a 401k, and within about 4 minutes, you're a 16-year-old again, rolling your eyes at mom, bickering with your sister about who gets what bedroom. So before you walk into that house, it's really helpful for you and your partner to ask each other some questions about boundaries. And this could change for every couple, but something along the lines of, where are we putting a boundary around our relationship? Question 1 could be something like, when are we making time for us as a couple? So this is about boundaries around your relationship. With all the family obligations and all of the events that you might have to go to, where do you two actually show up on the priority list? If the answer is nowhere, that's a problem. Block out time that is just yours, even if it's a morning coffee before the chaos starts or a walk around the block after dinner. Protect it. That time is really, really important. Question 2, what behaviors are deal breakers between us? Right? So this is about boundaries within your relationship during a really stressful time. How much drinking is okay? Are we going to vent to each other about family before, or does that make things worse? If one of us is shutting down and overwhelmed, what do? Get explicit about what you need from each other and what crosses a line. The holidays have a way of bringing out our worst behaviors, so let's talk about things before it happens and get ahead of it. Question 3 is, what are the boundaries around the family? A boundary isn't something that you set on someone else's behaviors. You can't control Uncle Jimmy. A boundary is the action you take when someone else's behavior is not okay. So if Uncle Jimmy gets drunk and starts picking fights, we're going to leave. If Auntie Jane brings up politics after dinner, we're going to go for a walk. Talk through your if X happens, then we are going to do Y as a team. And this gets tricky because when it comes to enforcing those boundaries, the insider has to be the one to do it. So if it's your mum being intrusive, you have to say, Mum, we're heading out now, not your partner. When the outsider sets the boundary, your partner is much more likely to become the villain and your family the victim, and that's a whole situation you don't want to deal with. The first R stands for rituals and shared meanings. So we've talked about mapping the season out, enforcing boundaries, but the holidays aren't just something you survive. They're actually the raw material you can use to build your shared. They can actually be the raw material you use to build your shared family story. And this is where a lot of couples get stuck because you've got their family traditions, your own family traditions, and somewhere in the middle, you're supposed to figure out your own traditions. And too often, couples just default to one side's scripts without ever really talking about it. My challenge for you is to get intentional about blending your traditions. What traditions from each of your family of origin do you want to keep? Which ones might you be doing just out of obligation? And what do you want to create that's special to you? Some of the best rituals I hear about from couples are the weird ones, the ones that nobody else would understand. Maybe it's a private gift exchange before you head into the chaos of family Christmas. Maybe it's a morning walk together on Thanksgiving before anyone else is awake. Maybe it's a turkey trot. I don't know. Maybe it's a pajama Christmas that's just 2 of you. No extended family, no stressors. The final thing here is I like recommending the post-holiday debrief. After you leave the in-laws or the big family dinner, take 15-20 minutes in the car or on the couch just to check in. What went well? What was hard? What do we want to do differently next year? It turns a stressful experience into something that you're navigating together. One of the really special traditions you can try and incorporate is gratitude. So every night or perhaps once a week, share 3 things you appreciate about each other or the day or this time of year. It sounds super cheesy, I know, but gratitude has a really, really powerful impact and could be a great ritual to start practicing each year. The second R is for romance and affection. And this sounds obvious, I know, but I promise it's the first thing that gets dropped when things get really busy. The core idea, though, is just to keep some actual relationship in the relationship, because what I see happen over the holidays is couples turning into a joint project management company that happens to share a bed. You're coordinating schedules, managing logistics, dividing and conquering gift lists, and somewhere in between, you actually forget to be with each other. So one of the recommendations that I've got is non-negotiable couple time. And it's obviously not a weekend getaway to Napa. It's 15 or 20 minutes in the day or a week that isn't about logistics or kids or whose turn it is to wrap presents. Just checking in. How are you doing? What do you need? How are you? How can I support you? It's these tiny little moments that actually carry a lot of weight. Holding hands while you're both standing in the kitchen, a hug before the guests walk in, 5 minutes on the couch together after everyone leaves. Small little things are how you co-regulate each other's nervous systems. And don't forget to play. Inside jokes, watching terrible movies together, silly ornament exchange that only you two get, whatever it is. Don't be so serious. Don't forget that this is play, and play is protective. It reminds you that you're on the same team and you actually like and care about each other. And that matters more than the perfect Christmas dinner or the perfect gift. Why is your well-being and decompression? And the last one might be the most important, although they're all pretty significant. The core idea here is simple. Just protect yourself so that you have a self to bring to the relationship and your family. You can't pour from an empty cup. It's all the super annoying therapist-y self-care things. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, exercise, food that isn't entirely sugar and alcohol. I know it's the holidays, but if you're running on 3 hours of sleep and surviving on cookies and cocktails, you're going to be reactive, snippy, and probably not your best self with your partner or your family. On this note, for some people, this time of year is genuinely hard. Seasonal affective disorder is legit and can give people a really low mood in the winter. So talk about it together and talk about it up front. Make sure that is the problem and your partner isn't the problem. So if it's morning walks, meditation, medication even, get ahead of it, talk about it up front. And let's talk about alcohol because it is everywhere in the holidays and it's an accelerant. It makes everything bigger. And if you and your partner have different drinking patterns, it's worthy of a conversation before the office party or the family dinner. Set limits, not in a controlling way, in a way that sounds like you're looking after each other. And finally, in this category is don't forget to plan for the crash. The post-holiday slump is real. So schedule a re-entry day, a day where you don't see anyone, a day where you do a debrief together or you reset on yourself and maybe think about what you want to do for the future. So taking care of yourself is how you take care of your relationship. And that is the end of the Merry framework for surviving the holidays as a couple. Map the season together, enforce boundaries as a team, build rituals and shared meaning, protect your romance and affection, and take care of your own well-being. So if this was helpful, I would love for you to hit subscribe. I put videos like this all the time out each week to help people grow great relationships. And if you want to see where you and your partner stand right now, go ahead and take my free couples intimacy quiz. It gives you a breakdown of how you're doing in 4 core pillars of relationship success: communication, intimacy, conflict resolution, and balance and equilibrium. It'll point out where you're doing well and maybe what areas of your relationship you want to focus on in 2026.